That's just scary.
Wait, see, I'm hearing it again.
Oh.
Dude, did not notice that.
Whoops.
That was my stomach, but I swear it sounded like a rock like smashed or something.
That was definitely a rock.
Right?
It was April 9th, 2025, when the YouTube channel Man Dog Wild released a new video. At first glance, it appeared to be just another of his regular outdoor adventures, an evening hike through the mountains with his loyal companion Yeti. The landscape was calm and breathtaking. Locals refer to this area as the Skinwalker Mountains, a region surrounded by eerie folklore, strange sightings, and countless stories of unexplained activity. The hike began peacefully, the air cool and clean as daylight faded. Yeti ran along the trail with her usual enthusiasm, but then her behavior suddenly changed. She slowed down, stopped, and stayed unusually close, as if guiding her owner towards something unseen.
Yeti. Yeti is either one of two things. She's a very simple dog. She's either completely unstable and constant zoomies, or she's very serious. And right now she's slowed down and she'll stop and she'll want me to follow her to take me somewhere or show me something. And at this point, now she's not going to stray too far from me because now she wants to show me something. We've just been out here exploring, as we usually do around this time, you know, a little earlier than this. It's getting a bit dark now. And we've been on one of these abandoned roads that go to nowhere. They've just been left. Walking these dirt roads, and Yeti comes across this little trail. She slowed down and she wants to show me. See, she's right there. She's not running. She's not got the zoomies as she normally does. She's staying close by. She's scenting something.
Their route veered away from the main trail and onto a narrow, overgrown path that felt untouched for decades. The deeper they went, the heavier the silence grew. Then, hidden beneath the trees, they stumbled upon something disturbingly out of place.
Yeti was checking out this stuff. It looks like a... no idea. Wow. That's just scary, huh? Waiting.
In the middle of the path sat a small stroller, half buried in weeds and soil. Inside was a doll, its face worn and cracked almost lifelike in the dim, fading light. The placement seemed deliberate. They were miles from homes, roads, or campsites. Whoever carried it here had done so on purpose. Nearby, carved deep into a large rock, was something even more unsettling.
Well, at least we're out at that plantation now. Oh. What's that? This is the... It's creepy, huh? What is that? So, this is where she leads us? That's super strange, huh? Like burnt into the rock. So obviously these mountains are strange places. Someone's come out here and made this. They've made this and I don't know what to make of this. What's your guys' thoughts on this? I have no idea. Maybe it's some kind of worshipping thing. Maybe it's just a sign. Maybe hunters, kind of marker. I don't know.
A dark scorched symbol. It looked ritualistic, as though it had been burned into the stone by fire. Its meaning was impossible to understand, but its precision hinted at purpose. Was it a warning, a ritual sign, or something far more sinister? As they turned to leave, faint movement caught his attention on a distant ridge.
I'm not going the way of the plantation. That's just way too thick, so I'm figuring I'm gonna go around. I definitely saw lights. Caught the video also. I took a look. And I don't know, obviously maybe we kind of did the same thing and we all turned our lights off and moved away. But when I turned around, I couldn't see the lights anymore. And yeah, they probably couldn't see mine. But the strange thing was, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the sound. It's a really high kind of pitched sound frequency, whatever. I think they call it a mosquito or something. And they use it to move people away from places they don't want them hanging out. So when I stopped, it had this ringing in my ears. It's horrible, really high pitched.
Small lights flickered briefly, shifting before vanishing when he switched off his flashlight. Seconds later, a piercing, high-pitched noise cut through the air, mechanical sharp and without any clear source. The sound resembled urban deterrent frequencies meant to drive people away. Yet out here, deep in untouched wilderness, it felt more like a warning meant for them. Throughout it all, Yeti remained strangely calm. The dog, normally alert to every sound, didn't bark or move. That stillness was somehow more disturbing than the noise itself. Taking a longer way back, he avoided retracing the same path. The lights didn't return. The ringing faded, and the symbol stayed unexplained. Some believe the stroller and symbol were signs of ritual activity hidden deep in the forest to avoid discovery. Others think the sound came from devices designed to scare trespassers. Together, the object's markings and sounds form something too deliberate to dismiss, as if someone wanted to create fear. Was it coincidence or evidence of something organized within the Skinwalker Mountains? And perhaps the most chilling question, did Yeti stay calm because she already knew exactly what was out there? Van life can feel freeing until the moment it turns terrifying. Dee had spent years living on the road in her self-built van, which she lovingly named Ladybug Out. But in October 2021, she uploaded a video describing the most frightening experience she had ever faced while traveling.
This is gonna be an awesome night. I'm here for a couple nights, heading up north again. It's cooler by the lake here. I'm in Oklahoma, and just wanted to show you guys what I get to enjoy for the next couple days.
It started like any normal day. She parked her van in Oklahoma, went for a short hike, and enjoyed the crisp open air. When she returned, the weather had shifted. The wind picked up, whistling through the trees as darkness crept in.
It's crazy out here. It's crazy windy. It said that the wind would pick up. It'll be a nice sleeping weather. I love when the wind is howling a little bit through the trees. Such a beautiful, beautiful sound. So while the wind is howling outside, I am snug as a bug in a rug in my little cabin on wheels. There's another camper right over there. It's a tent. They came in today. Can't believe that they are camping in this weather in a tent. I'm surprised that their tent is still up. Actually, I don't know if it's still up.
Other campers began setting up their tents despite the conditions, but Dee chose the safety of her van, unaware of the chaos about to unfold. Hours later, the calm night was broken by loud sirens. Her phone flashed with an emergency alert. A tornado warning had just been issued.
There's a tornado warning. So there was a severe thunderstorm warning, tornado warning issued just a minute ago. And so I am not sure what to do in this situation, actually. I thought that somebody would come around. The tent campers hightailed it out of here in the motorcycle, and so I am just going to go to a spot that I'm not so open because I'm very much in the open.
Disoriented and half asleep, she realized her van was parked out in the open with no real protection. Lightning split the sky as she jumped into the driver's seat, desperately searching for somewhere safe.
Here's the bathroom shelter. That might be my best bet if there is any more severe weather. So I am back here in the back. It's just raining lightly now. I drove over to where there's a concrete bathroom shelter in case sirens go off again. It's the only place that I saw that was remotely a shelter, but it seems like the worst of it has blown over, and so I feel like I'm safe. I'm just going to remain alert and awake tonight, check the weather every so often, but it seems like the front moves by pretty quickly. That's always the part where the tornadoes form, between where the cold and the warmer air is, right at the front, and that was when the sirens went off. I looked at the radar and it was right over us. So I think it was just to alert us that there could be possible tornadoes and to watch for them and to be awake. So this is something that I thought I'd show because I have talked about other situations of preparedness, and weather preparedness is something that I haven't covered, mainly because I try to stay out of weather like this. And I did. I checked the radar and it said that this front wasn't moving in until much later today. It's about 2:30 in the morning right now, and the weather alert was issued at 1 a.m., 12:55 or something like that. And yeah, that is something I was not counting on.
She drove until she found a solid structure, a concrete restroom building, and decided it was her best chance. There she waited in the darkness, watching the radar on her phone as the storm raged overhead. Rain hammered, the roof winds howled, and the threat of a tornado grew closer. Though the system eventually passed without hitting her directly, the experience left her shaken. Out on the road, shielded only by thin metal walls, nature's power can make anyone feel small. Later, Dee reflected that storms like the one she encountered often spawn tornadoes where warm and cold fronts collide. The sudden shift in weather that night likely created those exact conditions, catching her off guard even after checking the forecast earlier that day. For people who live full-time on the road, safety often depends on how prepared they are for the unpredictable. But here's the chilling thought. What if the tornado hadn't veered away? What if it had touched down right where she parked? Would she have had enough time to escape, or would her story have ended differently? Ramble Soul is best known for calm, minimalist outdoor journeys, peaceful camping trips, still lakeside mornings, and quiet evenings beside the fire. Their videos usually offer a sense of retreat and escape from the rush of daily life into the serenity of nature. But on this particular night, peace was nowhere to be found. From the very beginning, something felt off. As they arrived at their chosen lakeside spot, the wind was already howling hard enough to make even setting up camp nearly impossible.
Beni sürüklüyor. Allah Allah. Ya çakamıyorum da. Neresi önü, neresi arkası onu da bilemiyoruz ki. Ay! Başımıza bela ya bu.
Şimdi şurası PVC.
Mecbur çakacağım şimdi bir iki tane.
Tamam.
The terrain was open and uneven, every attempt to raise the tent ending in chaos. Poles were ripped from their grip stakes, refused to stay anchored, and the tent fabric snapped violently in the gusts. At one point, the entire shelter almost lifted from the ground.
Hayır!
Of ya! Nasıl yapacağız biz ya?
Hop hop hop!
Paraşüt gibi oldu bu.
Ha.
Aa! Aa!
Geldim geldim geldim. Tamam gel. Yuh! Evet. Evet oluyor.
Ay!
Böyle. Çekemiyor musun?
Çekemiyorum.
Evet. Bas. Bas kuzu. Altına bas. Allah Allah. Ah! Bu ne lan?
Threatening to fly straight into the lake. Even after hours of work, their small victory didn't last. Rain came without warning, driving down in sheets that soaked everything before they could react. Matt's sleeping bags and flooring were instantly drenched. The harder they fought to secure the setup, the more the storm tore it apart. What had been meant as a cozy lakeside camp quickly turned into a desperate battle to stay dry and safe. Earlier drone footage had captured the lake's beauty. Calm water, golden light reflections of the tree line. But by nightfall, the scene was unrecognizable. Supplies were scattered across the flooded ground, food ruined, and the little cover they had left sagged beneath the unrelenting wind. Inside the shelter, water leaked from every seam, pooling beneath their sleeping gear. It became obvious that staying wasn't just miserable, it was dangerous. With no other choice, they packed what little remained dry, tore everything down in the pouring rain, and retreated to the car. Exhausted, soaked, and defeated, they sat in silence as the storm raged on, outside the dream of a peaceful night by the lake completely washed away. What makes this video stand out isn't any supernatural event or strange sound in the forest. It's the raw power of nature itself. Weather is the most unpredictable force in outdoor life. Within minutes, it can turn a planned escape into a true survival test. Watching the footage, you can't help but wonder, was it just an unlucky storm? Or nature's way of reminding us who's really in control? May 7th, 2025. Hidden deep within the pine forests of Bear Lake, Itasca County, northern Minnesota. Kenny and his dog Toby guide their camper into a quiet, secluded clearing. His channel, Kenny of All Trades, has always focused on simplicity, RV life, camping through rough weather, and learning how to stay self-reliant in places most people only pass by. But even here, surrounded by glassy water and endless trees, something uneasy stirs beneath the peace. Kenny isn't sure whether he winterized the camper before the freeze. A single wrong valve could mean a burst pipe, a flooded floor, or an entire trip ruined.
I can't remember if I winterized this camper last fall or not. I may have just opened up the low water drains like a month before freeze up, and we just rode with it all winter long. We're gonna find out today. I'm gonna show you where Toby and I brought you as soon as we get the water going. This is the part that makes me nervous. The pump is running. I don't hear anything. Look under the cupboards. Well, nothing's leaking under here. That's a good sign. Those connections look good and dry. And we're still dry in here too. Good deal. Pump just shut off. I totally dodged a bullet on this one. Let's see if it works. It's getting there. The strange thing is the water pump is not kicking on, and we're running low on pressure. Let's see what happens in the bathroom. Good pressure there. Let's try this one more time. It's a little bit better. There we go. And the trap is dry. All right, let's get to it. Welcome to this week's video.
He flips the pump switch. A low hum cuts through the silence, then stops. Nothing. The quiet returns. No leaks. No problem for now. As morning fades into afternoon, Kenny and Toby explore the area. He studies the county's posted rules.
This spot is maintained by the county, and they do have a couple of rules here, but I think that the rules actually make for a lot more enjoyable experience, and they're simple to follow. No reservations. It's first come, first serve. No more than one group here. And then it's limited to no more than 10 people. They designed the sites for just 2 sleeping units, so you can only have 2 campers up here. The last rule I see get broken often, and it's just that they don't want you to be blocking the boat landing. With possible that someone's going to come in here, still try and land a boat.
No reservations, 1 group per site, 2 campers maximum, and always keep the boat ramp clear. They spend hours cleaning rusted cans, glass bottles, and even an old car starter buried under the pine needles. Why do we always find car parts, he jokes, though his laugh fades quickly into the stillness of Bear Lake. As the sun lowers, tires crunch on the gravel road. A white van appears, towing a small boat. The driver rolls down the window.
Well, this one was a first for me. I just got done cleaning up that campsite, and a van pulls in, and he's got a boat in tow. He rolls his window down and says, "Hey, do you mind if I set up a tent next to your camper?" Normally, that doesn't happen. But I noticed he's got a couple of kids in the back. They probably want to do some fishing, so how am I supposed to say no to that? These campsites are getting full. This afternoon on the way up here, I had to put up the drone and use that to scout some of the spots that I have pinned on Google Maps, and everything's full. He did grab the fire pit, brought it over by the tent, so we're probably gonna do some cooking on the solo stove tonight. That's all right. I've been camping thousands of times. Those kids, probably only camping dozens of times. Toby and I, me and you, we're still gonna have a relaxing evening.
Kenny pauses, then nods. There are children in the back. The family settles in beside him. Later, the fire glows in his Ozark smokeless stove. Toby curls near his feet as Kenny cooks country sausages, watching the last bit of light fade over the lake. He mentions maybe finding a new spot tomorrow, somewhere quieter, maybe better for fishing. The next morning, he packs up and drives toward an old campsite near a narrow bridge, a place he hasn't been in years. But halfway there, the check engine light flashes. The truck begins to lose power. Kenny coasts to the shoulder, gripping the steering wheel. No cell signal, no help. Moments later,
My fuel light came on probably 2 miles ago. I mean, I should definitely have enough fuel in the tank. The problem is that this road is a really steep downhill angle, and I've got a sump in the fuel tank, so there's just no fuel to draw. I'm back on kind of level surface right now, so I'm gonna try and prime my fuel system. I hope I don't have to prime the filters and everything, but we'll see if we can't get this thing going. What a day. All right, so I removed the intake, try and pump this bleeder up. This screw is stuck. Of course it's stuck. Okay, let's see if we can do anything here. All right, the aftermarket fuel pump is on. Let's see if we can bleed the system this way. I'm not even hearing any gurgling coming out of there. What in the world? Give me a little bit of pressure. Just nothing. I really need to crack this screw though. I don't have a big enough screwdriver. Maybe I'll just cross my fingers and crank it over again. There we go. I think we got it. Except I'm covered in diesel. Get up there now. Come on. Okay. Let's see how many miles I got. Oh, stop it. What does it tell me? How many miles do I have till empty? Fuel range, 66 miles. Now it's just got to get air out of the line. All right, it's running. Let's get to the bottom of this hill so that way I can speed bomb it up to the top, get to the gas station. Holy buckets.
the engine dies completely. Out of diesel, stranded on a steep hill. Under the midday sun, he works on the fuel system, bleeding air from the line. His hands slick with diesel when the motor finally sputters back to life. What a day, he mutters, shaking his head. Maybe it's just fatigue. His body still healing from shoulder surgery, a man trying to find rhythm again. Or maybe it's something else. Out here, small problems don't feel random. The broken parts, the strange van, the stalling engine, they line up like quiet warnings he keeps ignoring. When the motor steadies again, Kenny signs off in his usual way. Be kind. Be honest. We'll see you down the road. But Toby doesn't move. The dog's head turns toward the dark tree line, ears sharp. The wind stops. For a moment, even the truck seems to hesitate. And in that silence, it feels like something unseen was waiting for him to leave. It was October 19th, 2025, when Exploring with Angelo released their newest video. Known for venturing into abandoned buildings and haunted wilderness, the channel documents real overnight explorations where solitude often takes an eerie turn. This time, Angelo and his friend Frank arrived at a remote lake near Lake Wanapitei, Northern Ontario hours behind schedule. The main campground had already shut its gates at 5 p.m., forcing them to drive another 4 hours through desolate back roads. By the time they reached this forgotten place, it was almost 10:30 p.m., the air sharp and freezing. Somewhere beyond the tree line lay a lake said to be haunted. Locals told stories of shadowy figures and a strange glowing presence that appeared near the water. For Angelo and Frank, it was just another night's challenge. But as the temperature dropped and silence pressed closer, the wilderness would soon prove otherwise. Under the glare of their headlights, they began setting up their hot tent, their only defense against the biting cold. Metal clanked frost formed on their gloves, and every breath vanished into the dark. While unpacking the wood stove, a low growl rolled across the lake.
All right, so I'm gonna start chopping up some wood because we're gonna need some kindling to get this thing started. We want to warm this puppy up as much as possible. What?
I just heard like a growl. Like that way. All jokes aside.
From over there?
That way.
Do you have the
Which is
flashlight on
by
you?
the lake. Well, towards the lake anyway.
That's good. Starting off with the to a good start, I suppose. We're about to get eaten right away. There, see, I'm hearing it again.
What?
Like someone talking. I don't know what. At first, it sounded like it was coming from there. Now it sounds like it's coming from that way. I don't know. Who knows? Now I'm hearing wolves. We don't know if they're wolves or coyotes. Kind of sounded like wolves to me.
Angelo froze, scanning the trees. "Did you hear that?" he whispered. Moments later, faint voices drifted from the darkness, too human to dismiss, too distant to explain. Hours passed as they worked by the flickering car lights until warmth finally filled the tent. But peace didn't last. When Frank stepped out to gather more wood, he spotted movement near the shoreline.
Does it sound like something's moving back there?
Yep.
It's like walking, like someone's walking, right? I mean, we haven't really gone back there yet, but...
Ugh, I'm so tired.
I know, me too. I've been on the road literally all day, but... I mean, we keep hearing voices. What if somebody's, like, down there? Maybe, like, night fishing or something.
I mean, it could be.
Could be. Let's go check. Let's just verify.
I mean, it wouldn't be ideal without lights, but, you know.
I mean, I guess.
Would you want to be out here without a flashlight?
I mean, I guess not.
Or some means of being able to see?
Make sure I have the car keys.
Because it is pitch black, guys. Once we shut off the lights, like, it is
Yeah, it's
black out here.
You know, use this as like a boat launch?
It could be.
Because I'm pretty sure this goes. Oh,
Is there?
there's a car.
Oh?
We did not notice that when we got here.
Whoops. Maybe somebody else is camping out here?
There's a trailer.
Might make sense of the noise.
Oh, there's a fire pit.
So,
Following the noise, they found something unnerving, a truck and boat trailer abandoned by the ramp. The registration sticker read 2022. No campfire, no footprints, just silence. Back inside, they tried to ignore it. Angelo cooked dinner on the wood stove, sausage, spinach, mushrooms, the kind of meal meant to calm the nerves. But the footsteps came again this time, right beside the tent.
You hear something outside?
yeah. What the hell's that?
It really sounds like something's walking.
The fuck?
Wait. No, it's on this side. Oh? That was weird.
That was very weird.
What's interesting, I know I haven't explained the story yet. I'm about to get to it just after we finish eating because we're starving. But apparently that's a thing that happens here. Like people hear like movement, like walking around the tent. I just really don't feel like checking right now because, well, I'm eating. And if I do see something, the food may go flying. See if we hear it again. That was my stomach, but I swear it sounded like a rock like smashed or something.
That was definitely a rock.
Right? Okay, now I'm confused. That was the hell?
Okay, now I'm curious.
Right? Hello? Someone out there? That was weird. What was that?
I don't know.
Later, as they ate, Angelo read 2 stories locals had shared about the same lake accounts of dark figures among the trees and a glowing shape hovering above the water. And as he reached the final line, a laugh echoed outside. It wasn't the wind. It wasn't an animal. It was human. They rushed out but found nothing, only the faint outline of the same abandoned truck still untouched. Desperate for answers, Angelo turned on the spirit box. Static filled the air. Then a voice broke through. Lily. To be frank, the woods. The words froze them where they stood. Inside the tent, the silence returned, but neither man slept. Could the voices and laughter belong to other campers? Possibly. But no one ever came back for that truck. The growl, the footsteps, the whispers, all too deliberate, too close. Maybe the legends surrounding this lake weren't fiction after all. When daylight came, the truck remained. No tracks, no movement, only the same cold stillness hanging over the water. If no one ever returned for it, then who was laughing outside their tent that night? It was November 16th, 1924, when Sur Ronster, a YouTube channel famous for its electric bike adventures and underground explorations, uploaded a video unlike anything they had done before. What began as another casual ride through abandoned tunnels quickly turned into something much darker.
I was not going to post this video. Something happened that I cannot explain. It was caught on camera, and if I wasn't there, I would think the video is fake. That's why I didn't want to post it. But here we are. Strap in, and trust me, what you're about to see is 100% real.
The host opens with a confession. He almost didn't post the footage. Something occurred inside that tunnel, something he still can't fully explain. The crew prepares their gear and coordinates over walkies, setting out to reach the end of an old underground passage said to contain graffiti untouched for more than 70 years. The deeper they travel, the narrower and hotter it gets. What starts out as excitement slowly transforms into unease. The ceiling lowers, the air thickens, and their engine sounds begin to echo in strange, unnatural ways. They stop briefly to tag their mark on the damp concrete before pressing farther into the dark. Then their walkie signal dies. The realization hits they're completely cut off. Surrounded by nothing but dripping water and silence, they continue deeper. Claustrophobia builds. About 5 miles in, they take a break. That's when the host hears it.
We need to report instantly. Let's go.
You realizing we're out of range now? We turned back to meet up with the other guys and all stopped to have a drink. I didn't want to stop. I felt pretty anxious being 5 miles deep in an underground tunnel with only one way in and one way out. I took my helmet off and stopped recording, and after about 10 minutes while one of us was talking and the rest of us were quietly listening, I heard 2 clear voices coming from the direction we just turned back. So I immediately put my helmet back on, powered on the GoPro, and hit record. But it turned out later that my clip never recorded. And that's only the very beginning of where it gets really difficult to explain things. Thankfully, Tonka was recording. His YouTube channel is What's Good America 1, and that's the angle we're looking at right now. So at this point, I had heard 2 male voices and told everyone to be quiet. I pointed my flashlight down the tunnel and see nothing. We all hear nothing. Then in the opposite direction, a loud noise, the first noise we heard the entire hour plus we spent in the tunnel, startles all of us. All a little freaked out, we literally run out of the tunnel. It was a very long ride back out before this happened.
Take a break at 394. We're going to be performing some extreme stunts coming out the tunnel. I advise you get this on video.
We continued having a good time before calling it a day. And you're probably thinking, that's it? You heard a loud noise? No. Here's where it gets really creepy and hard to explain. Later that night, Tonka sends me a text. Bro, I think I caught ghost audio. Bro, look at this. He attaches a clip and says, it sounds like it was said right into my mic as if someone was whispering it into my ear. And I know it wasn't me because I was trying to listen for sounds. I'm about to play the clip and I need to know down below, what do you think?
Remember when we thought we heard something, bro? Listen. This is when you went to check it. Did you hear that? That was not me, bro. I didn't make that sound. What the fuck? Bro.
To me, it sounds like someone whispering Lula directly into the mic. At first, I thought maybe Tonka whispered under his breath, but let's remember where his mic is. Here I have the same exact microphone that Tonka was using. It was right here, so when you're talking normally, it can hear you. That was why you had it there. But if you're whispering, you can't hear. In the same way, if you're whispering here, you would have had to been here to say Lula. I listened to it 100 times with my girlfriend that night, and we agree it kind of sounds like me, but this audio is directly off Tonka's camera, and I was not even close to whisper distance from his mic. Like I said at the beginning, I wouldn't believe this if I wasn't there.
Two male voices, faint but clear, coming from the same direction they entered. He grabs his GoPro, switches it on, but later finds nothing recorded. Moments later, from the opposite direction, a loud metallic crash echoes through the tunnel, sending the team sprinting back toward the exit. The laughter, the thrill all gone. Only fear remains. Later that night, Tonka, one of the riders, reviews his footage and discovers something disturbing. A whisper caught near his mic, softly saying what sounds like Lula. The host demonstrates that the mic was too far away for anyone to whisper into it, ruling out a prank. Two voices, a dead camera, a whisper too close to be natural. Each could be coincidence, but together they suggest something far stranger. Was it just interference, an echo playing tricks, or did something inside that tunnel want to be heard? The host doesn't pretend to know. He only knows what he felt was real. And as the video ends, he admits one thing: if he hadn't witnessed it himself, he'd think it was fake. That's it for tonight. Which moment creeped you out the most? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story? Share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.